A little bit about me. I'm in San Francisco Bay Area of California. I work at our headquarters in Morgan Hill. I have about 20 years of experience in content creation, everywhere from renewable energy, where I started, over toward health insurance, and now over at premium cycling products. Various degrees. I also raced triathlons professionally in the early 2000s, including 9 Ironman finishers. I have a little QR code for LinkedIn on my slide. I also have it at the end, so if you don't want to get it right now, you can grab it later. But it'd be great to stay in touch with you all. A little bit about Specialized. So if you haven't heard of us, we create, manufacture, and produce premium cycling products. We were founded in California in 1974, so we got an over 50-year history. The world's first production mountain bike, called the Stump Jumper, came out in 1981. We have an on-site wind tunnel, which there I am in the wind tunnel, where we test out our products. We have retail locations where we service our customers. We sponsor high-level athletes. That picture there is from the Olympics in Paris, and one of our athletes won the men's road race, so he posed at the bottom with that great picture, which of course we were thrilled by. And about our team. So we're housed within the customer service center. We have a small but mighty team, as we like to say. Basically, we produce everything from manuals. We have an online help center. We have an internal help center for our agents. And we also work with retailers. Lots of content, 22 different languages, because we're global. It's a lot of stuff to keep track of. So here's our first question. Who remembers what year were we founded? 1974. All right. I don't know who was first. Who gets the bottle? All right, here comes. There's more, don't worry. All right, so I'm going to take you on our knowledge journey. Where we were, where we are, and where we're hopefully going. Let's go ride. Where we were, kind of not so good. As we like to say, it took a potential crisis. We had 3 different knowledge websites. We had our external site, which was reaching out to our customers. We had an internal site, and we had a B2B site, all separate, all separately maintained, information all over the place. Our customer service website handled 10 times the volume of our call center, and at a fraction of the cost. We were worried if our call center went down, if our customer service center went down, the call center, there's no way they could handle that much volume if it hit them. Well, as it was, we had low scores for customer resolution. People were on hold sometimes for 20 minutes during the summer busy season. You can imagine if you're on hold for 20 minutes, you wouldn't be very happy. So, we definitely wanted to do that. We had really long training times because the complexity of our content. And, again, we were worried about this impending crisis coming our way. So we did some discovery. This is a mess. It looks a lot like Ashu's slide with all the silos. But we worked out, OK, we have all these different teams that creating content. That's the blue on the far right, far left. We used all these tools in orange, all these different kind of tools where content was created. Translation, we had translation in many different tools all over the place, sometimes not at all. We published it in a whole mess of different places. And at the end, we had to have different access for different groups of people, everything from customers to retailers to internal. Try managing that with a tiny team. Yeah, good luck. These were our challenges, just like riding your bike in the deep sand. You're working super hard. You're putting out superhuman efforts. You're not going anywhere, You're just trying to stay upright. You're just trying to keep going. All these risks, duplication, content leaks, all these things, this is just not working for us. So we did it. We had to do a business case and RFP, corporate. We had to prove, well, OK, we have to invest all this money, but why? What are we going to get out of it? So what we did was we got the budget for a multi-year investment. We talked about the costs of our current system, the hold times, the satisfied customers. How are we going to solve that? Are we going to double our call service system? There's no way. We couldn't afford that. So we have to collect all this data. We did a survey of our agents. We documented how difficult it was to find the answers. We met with vendors. We issued the RFP, and then we developed a scorecard so we could look at the different vendors one point by point on our key metrics. And at the end of that, we secured eGain in the Q1 last year. They best met our needs. You can see here's some of the reasons we chose eGain. Basically, being in business since the 90s, helping us migrate our content. We didn't have to retemplate. We didn't have to recreate. All of the APIs, of course, so that we could connect in with all of our other sources. And of course, the reason we're all here is all those AI tools that we have to have. Okay, here's another one. This should be an easy one. What year do we start working in eGain? 2024. There you go. Where's the bottle going? Nice catch. All right, I got another chance. Another chance. Anyone remember? How much more volume did we have? 10 times. I heard it over there. Oh, I don't know about that one. I could hurt somebody. All right, we'll pass it back. Excellent, thank you. There's a few more. So you're good thing I'm not throwing bicycles out. That would be really dangerous. So here's where we are now. Just like people said, we're basically building the trail as people are riding down it. At the same time we're trying to do all this hard work, we're launching products, fast and furious. We're trying to replace the customer service website at the same time we're still supporting our agents. Luckily, our eGain team was absolute heroes. They really helped us transfer the content over, set up a platform for us, duplicated it. Basically, we did what they call lift and shift approach, where we just moved everything over. We'll worry about it later. We used the analytics platform to highlight, here's the most viewed content, here's the content that's getting low reviews, so that we could really focus our efforts on improving the most accessed content quickly. Phase 2, basically, is we're building a bridge toward our new approaches. That might look like a little bit of a rickety bridge, but we got to start somewhere. We're cleaning up our knowledge articles. We're going through using the analytics again, just to make sure that everything is getting more streamlined. Previously, we didn't have time to go through, so everything was kind of patchwork efforts. We're continuing to migrate content. We still have content in other legacy systems that hasn't been moved over yet. So as we can highlight the needs of our agents, we can prioritize those areas to move over. We're also trying to basically create a single source of truth so our agents can all look at the same place and find the answers. AI tools, we like to say it's like a team of interns on Red Bull, except you don't have to pay them. Essentially, AI helps us get things done quickly and consistently. It helps us take our formatting as we migrate over and strip out some of the old coding that we had left over. We had Confluence before, and we were trying to move things over, and some of the formatting wasn't playing right, essentially. And so AI helps us clean that up and make it look similar. It helps us resize, for example, our videos so that they're all the same size, so that when people look at our site, it's consistent, it's clean. The brand people don't get upset with us. It helps us speed content migration, and of course, it helps us improve search by identifying keywords, so our SEO improves and people find our content easier. We have online troubleshooting through the guided help using case-based reasoning. And so basically what this does is it walks people through a process. Formerly, before this, a lot of times at our retailers, they would get an e-bike, it wouldn't turn on. And for them, okay, it's under warranty, let's just start replacing parts and see what works. Well, for them, that's all great, and it gets the rider maybe back on their bike, but for us, that's costing money. Every time they put something on that doesn't need to be replaced, that's money out the door. And so if they can follow our troubleshooting guide, then they know exactly what to check. And in many cases, it's not a hardware problem, it's a software problem, it's a connection problem. And so that ends up being a much quicker and cost-effective way to resolve the problem. Here's our results so far. Our support center has grown 4 times this year in volume. Our increase in positive feedback started down at 39% and has climbed to 57%. Still got a ways to go, but we're improving. And our clicks from Google searches has gone up 10 to 15 times. So huge increases in SEO. This is a graph showing our support center, which is what we call our customer service center, combined with our rider contacts. And that blue line at the bottom is rider messages and phone calls into our customer service center. That looks like it's flat. It's actually a doubling of volume. So we have a static number of customer service representatives, about 200. So if the volume doubles, you can imagine what happens. You know, people are on hold. The customer service agents are really busy. Can you imagine if for the red line, all those people tried calling in? There's no way that would work. So I actually just pulled this graph together like a week ago. So this was very exciting to see. Here's another one. What do we call our customer service website? Support Center, I see it right there. All right, you're in the danger zone. How about you pass it back for me? And you got one more for you too, for your help. All right, and so here's where we're hoping to go. We're hoping to continue our knowledge integrations, including with our internal knowledge, with our app, with our B2B website. We're going to refine our analytics and our user feedback to inform our content needs. We want to consolidate our translation, so we're going to have a company-wide translation solution that imports into all our knowledge. And we're going to look into the use of AI to help answer easy questions online. How we'll improve our agent experience. We've already, this is something we did earlier this year. We imported our knowledge directly into Salesforce. And so that now our knowledge base is directly in the platform where our agents work. It automatically pre-searches, essentially, based on the content of the messaging. And so then our agents can navigate and find the content and share with the customer directly. We're in the process of, we actually just signed on to the new AI agent, but we haven't implemented it yet, so we're in the process of testing that, but we're really excited to see how that further improves the process. For our B2B, we essentially plan to take the same approach and embed our knowledge into our B2B platform so that we can not only provide the same customer providing support, but also our retailer support. Partly that's hindered on our end, is that we just haven't built up our retailer side of eGain yet, so there's nothing there to show. But right now we're connecting it with our rider facing. Here's our customer service experience, some statistics. When we conducted our discovery, we found that 33% of our customers were dissatisfied due to a lack of information. Hold times could exceed 20 minutes, and up to 50% of calls were abandoned. Some regions even turned off the messaging because it was too busy, which is about the last thing you want to do. And our early results, we've seen that drop down to about 16% call abandonment during the summer, which actually is quite a big improvement for us. And while hold times are still longer than we'd like, they've gone down to about 10 minutes during our peak with an average of 3 minutes. So that's a huge improvement and makes us really excited to see. Some more things we're going to do, as I mentioned, AI agent is something we are currently testing online. Basically what we're doing is we've shared the testing with some of our agents so that when they get live calls, they can basically enter those questions in and see how it does. We're hoping that builds their confidence in it, as well as helps us flag areas where we can improve it before we go live with our AI agent. Basically what we want to do is we want to take a lot of those questions that come in, those really simple questions. What size tire can I put on my bike? That can all be handled. That's all. We have that knowledge. We already know what it is. Let's just directly help the customer as quick as we can so that our agents can help deal with the longer, more detailed, holding the hands of our customers when they really need it. Basically, we want to better connect our e-commerce and our support center content. Right now, e-commerce is a separate platform, and we're hoping to embed or intertwine those a little bit better so it's a more seamless experience, because our customers don't really care between the two platforms. They just want the answers. And where we're going, of course, AI. We use generative AI to help summarize and extract keywords. Helps us process large amounts of content. It helps us replicate templates and formats. We can use AI translation in a pinch if we want to quickly get the sense of things or help our agents in other countries understand our English-only content. And then, of course, we want to promote local language and help our customers throughout the world. Oh, I should do one last question. I forgot about this one. I just added this one at the end. So what are we planning to use AI for? And this is a little bit funny. Creating new bicycle designs, helping answer questions, or deciding where to go for lunch. Yes, B. Do you think this bike was designed by AI? It actually wasn't. We have a whole museum at our headquarters in Morgan Hill, which has a whole bunch of interesting creations such as this. So this was actually designed by a human. If you're, all you guys in Sunnyvale, you should come on over. We can give you a tour of all of our great creations. And that's all I got.